Have you ever felt like a quiet observer in your own family? Or perhaps felt that a single harsh word from someone you care about can ruin your peace for the entire day? In our modern world, we are often pushed to respond instantly to every frustration. Whether it is a difficult phone call or a disagreement at the dinner table, the pressure to react can leave us feeling exhausted and out of control. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that you have power over your mind, not outside events. He taught that realizing this is where true strength begins. For example, imagine a friend makes a critical remark about a choice you made years ago. While the words are theirs, the regret you feel is something only you can manage. In this video, we will explore one core principle and a simple daily practice to help you stay grounded. Please stay with us as we look at how to apply this. Your peace is worth the time. If you are ready to begin, please type, "I control my response." The first pillar we will explore together today is the power of the mental editor. In ancient Stoic philosophy, this is based on the principle of prosos, which simply means a state of continuous, watchful attention. This is the practice of being fully awake to your own thoughts before they turn into words or actions. The Stoics believed that between everything that happens to us and our response to it, there is a tiny, silent space. Within that space lies our entire freedom. If we can inhabit that space, we are no longer victims of our circumstances. We become the masters of our own peace. In our modern life, however, this is incredibly difficult to apply. By the time we reach our 50s, 60s, or 70s, we have spent decades practicing certain ways of reacting. Our brains have built deep, well-worn paths. We often feel like we are on autopilot. We have what many call emotional buttons. These are specific topics or behaviors that, when triggered by others, cause us to react instantly with anger, hurt, or defensiveness. For many of us, it is our family members who know exactly where these buttons are located. Even after a lifetime of experience, we can find ourselves feeling like a frustrated child again in a matter of seconds. We might feel that because of our age and everything we have sacrificed, we deserve more respect. Yet we often receive the opposite. This makes the silent space between a stimulus and our response feel almost non-existent. To understand how this looks in our daily lives, let us look at an illustrative example. Imagine you are sitting in your favorite chair on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. The phone rings. It is your adult child. You feel a spark of joy, hoping for a warm conversation. But as the call progresses, the tone changes. They begin to criticize how you are managing your home. Or perhaps they offer unsolicited advice on your health. They might say that you are becoming too stubborn or that you are not listening to reason. In an instant, you feel a heat rising in your chest. Your heart begins to beat a little faster. Your mind immediately prepares a sharp defense. You want to remind them of everything you did for them. You want to tell them that you were managing a household before they were even born. This is the moment where the horizon of the external world is trying to pull your anchor loose. The reaction is ready to burst forth, and if it does, the conversation will likely end in a painful argument that you will replay in your mind for days. The Stoics offered a different way to view this tension. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who faced constant betrayal and immense pressure, wrote a very specific reminder to himself in his private journals. He wrote that it is in your power to withdraw into yourself whenever you desire. He did not mean that we should ignore our children or hide from the world. Instead, he taught that we should take the raw impressions of what people say and bring them into what we call the mental editor's room. In this inner room, you are the person in charge. When your child says something critical that is merely raw footage, it is loud, and perhaps it is unkind. But in the editor's room, you stop and look at that footage. You ask yourself a few quiet questions. Is this criticism true? Is it born out of their own stress, or perhaps even out of a misplaced sense of love? For me, does reacting with anger serve my dignity? Marcus Aurelius believed that we are not actually hurt by the words people speak. We are only hurt by the story we tell ourselves about those words. If we tell ourselves the story that we are being disrespected, we feel pain. If we tell ourselves the story that our child is simply having a difficult day and expressing it poorly, we remain at peace. This principle is especially helpful to apply when you are dealing with recurring family conflicts, or when you find yourself overthinking past conversations. We often spend our nights rehearsing what we should have said. This is a sign that our mental editor was absent during the actual event. We let the raw footage play out in real time without any reflection. But by practicing this inner stillness, we can learn to protect our energy. We realize that we do not have to attend every argument we are invited to. We can see the criticism on the horizon, recognize it for what it is, and choose to keep our anchor firmly planted in the soil of our own values. To make this real for you today, I invite you to practice a very specific technique called the 4-second gate. This is a practical exercise you can use the very next time you feel your emotions beginning to rise. When you feel that familiar spark of irritation or the urge to defend yourself, visualize a gate in your mind. Do not allow a single word to pass through your lips for 4 slow seconds. This time is your own. Step number 1. Recognize the physical sign of your reaction. It might be a tightness in your throat or heat in your face. Step number 2. Mentally close the gate. Step number 3. Use the first 2 seconds to breathe in slowly and realize that the words you just heard belong to the other person, not to you. Step number 4. Use the final 2 seconds to ask yourself what a person of dignity would do in this moment. If the answer is silence, then stay silent. If the answer is a calm, short response, then give that, but only after the 4 seconds are complete. This is not about being passive or letting people walk over you. It is about proving to yourself that you are the only one who decides how you feel. You are reclaiming the 4 seconds that the world tries to steal from you. This practice is very simple, but it is not easy. It requires you to be patient with yourself, just as you would be patient with a dear friend. If you fail today, you simply try again tomorrow. Each time you find that small gap, you are strengthening your anchor. You are building a life where your peace is not dependent on the moods of others. You are choosing to be the person who edits your life with wisdom rather than someone who merely reacts to it with pain. Please remember this truth as you go through your day. The gap is where your freedom lives. The gap is where your dignity is found. In that small space of 4 seconds, you can find a quiet strength that no one can take away from you. You are the master of the gate. You are the editor of your story. Focus on the gap, and the rest of the world will lose its power to disturb you. To show that you are ready to protect your inner space, please take a moment to join our community in the comments. Please type the following words to remind yourself of this strength. Type, I own my silence. Let those words stay with you. I own my silence. Repeat it to yourself when the world becomes loud. I own my silence. By doing this, you are telling yourself and the world that your peace is your highest priority. You are choosing the path of the anchor. You are choosing the path of a sovereign mind. Thank you for being here with us. We will continue this journey together in our next reflection. Walk steady. The second pillar we are going to explore today is the sovereignty of character, which the ancient Stoics often referred to as dignitas. This principle is built on a very simple yet profound truth. Your worth as a human being is entirely internal. It is like a treasure buried deep within a mountain that you alone possess. It cannot be given to you by a promotion, a fancy title, or the praise of your neighbors. And more importantly, it cannot be taken away by a loss of status, a change in your physical strength, or even the lack of attention from those you love. The Stoics believed that as long as you are acting with virtue and keeping your word to yourself, your dignity remains perfect and untouched. It is the absolute sovereignty of the soul. However, we must be honest about why this is so difficult to practice in our modern world. Many of us have spent 30 or 40 years defining ourselves by what we do. Perhaps you were a leader in your career, a provider for your family, or a person whose advice was always sought after. As we move into the later chapters of our lives, those external markers of value often begin to shift. We retire from our jobs, and the phone stops ringing as often as it once did. Our physical energy might decline, making us feel less capable than we were in our youth. In a society that is often obsessed with being young, fast, and loud, it is easy to feel invisible. We might start to believe that our value is fading along with our hair or our speed. We look at the horizon and see a world that seems to have moved on without us. And we begin to wonder if we still matter. To see how this challenge appears in our daily lives, let us look at a common situation that many of us face. Imagine it is a holiday or a Sunday afternoon, and your family has gathered at your home. The house is filled with the sounds of your children and grandchildren. There is much laughter and conversation, but as the afternoon goes on, you notice a subtle feeling of being bypassed. The younger people are talking quickly about technology, their new careers, or social trends you find uninteresting. You try to share a story or offer a piece of wisdom, but someone speaks over you or quickly changes the subject. You feel a sudden sting of being undervalued. In your mind, you remember when you were the one everyone listened to. You feel a sense of lost status, and you might be tempted to become bitter, or perhaps you shrink back and stop speaking altogether. You feel as if your dignity is being chipped away by their lack of attention. This is a moment where your anchor is being tested by the noise of the world. The Stoic teacher Epictetus had a very powerful perspective on this exact feeling. It is important to remember that Epictetus was born into slavery. For much of his early life, he had no legal rights, no property, and no control over his physical body. If anyone had a reason to feel invisible or undervalued, it was him. Yet, he became one of the most unshakable human beings in history. He taught his students a vital lesson that we can use today. He said that no man is free who is not master of himself. He showed that dignity is not a gift that other people give to you. It is a posture you choose for yourself. to Epictetus. It did not matter if the emperor ignored him or if a stranger insulted him. His worth was found in his own choices and his own character. He believed that if you are acting with kindness and staying true to your values, you have already won. The opinions of others are merely clouds passing over the sun. The sun remains, regardless of the clouds. This principle is incredibly useful to apply when you are feeling the pain of betrayal or when you are struggling with overthinking. When someone we trusted fails us, our first instinct is to feel that we have lost something precious. We feel that their betrayal has somehow diminished our value. But a Stoic would look at this differently. They would say that the person who betrayed you has harmed their own character, not yours. They have lost their integrity, which is a great tragedy for them. But you still have your honesty. You still have your ability to be a person of honor. Your dignity is not a reflection of how they treated you. It is a reflection of how you treat yourself in the aftermath. By remaining calm and not sinking to their level, you are exercising your sovereignty. You are proving that your anchor is heavier than the storm. I want to share a very specific practice with you that can help you rebuild this sense of internal worth. It is called the inner mirror check. This is a quiet exercise that requires no more than 2 minutes, and I suggest you do it twice a day. Perhaps once at 10 o'clock in the morning and once at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When the time comes, find a quiet moment to sit comfortably. You do not even need a physical mirror. You are looking into the mirror of your own mind. Step number 1. Close your eyes and take one deep, slow breath. Step number 2. Ask yourself this question. At this very moment, am I acting like the person I truly respect? Step number 3. Look at your recent actions. Are you seeking approval from people who do not truly know your heart? Are you making yourself small so that others will feel more comfortable? Step number 4. If you find that you have been reacting to the world instead of acting from your soul, simply adjust your posture, straighten your back. Remind yourself that you do not need an audience to be a person of value. Step number 5. Spend the final 30 seconds repeating a single truth to yourself. I am the sole guardian of my own dignity. By doing this twice a day, you are creating a routine of self-reflection that keeps you anchored. You are teaching your mind that the most important opinion in the room is your own. This is not about being arrogant or thinking you are better than others. It is about the quiet recognition that you are a person of substance, regardless of whether the world notices you or not. You are reclaiming your sovereignty one quiet breath at a time. This is especially helpful if you are currently caring for a sick loved one or if you are feeling the weight of loneliness. In those quiet hours when no one is watching, your character is being forged. Every small act of patience and every moment of self-control is a victory for your soul. I want you to remember that the world can take your position, it can take your health, and it can take your comfort, but it can never take your character unless you hand it over. You are the master of your own internal law. You are the person who decides your price. When you walk into a room, you do not need to perform. You do not need to beg for a seat at the table. You carry your own table with you. You carry your own anchor. This is the quiet strength that the Stoics practiced, and it is a strength that is available to you right now. In this very moment, you are not invisible. You are seen by the only person whose judgment truly matters, and that is you. As we conclude this reflection on your internal sovereignty, I invite you to join us in making a small but powerful statement of intent. It is a way to tell yourself that you are taking back control of your worth. Please go to the comments below and share these words with our community. Type, "My worth is not for sale." Let those words settle into your mind. My worth is not for sale. Repeat it when you feel ignored. My worth is not for sale. Say it to yourself when someone is unkind. My worth is not for sale. You are an anchored soul in a changing world. You are a person of quiet dignity. Thank you for spending this time with us. We are honored to walk this path beside you. Stay steady, and we will see you in our next reflection. We are now going to address the specific moments where our peace is most deeply threatened. These are the pain points that many of us carry in the quiet of our hearts. We will look at two of the most common challenges for those of us in the later chapters of life, the pain of family disappointment and the weight of past regrets. Let us begin with the first situation. The Stoic principle for handling betrayal or disappointment by those we love is based on the idea of unconditional virtue. This means that we are responsible for our own kindness and our own character, regardless of how another person chooses to act. The Stoics taught that we can love someone and wish the best for them, but we cannot control their moral character. We can provide the soil, the water, and the sun, but we cannot force the tree to grow straight. Our only job is to remain a person of integrity, even when those around us are falling short. This is incredibly difficult to apply in our modern lives. Many of us have spent decades of investing our time, our money, and our very souls into our families. When a child, a sibling, or a longtime friend makes a choice that feels like a betrayal, it does not just hurt our feelings, it feels like a failure of our own legacy. We might feel that we have wasted our lives or that we were not good enough teachers. In a world that is increasingly divided, family disagreements can feel permanent and cold. We often feel that because we have given so much, we are owed a certain level of loyalty or behavior in return. When that debt is not paid, our anchor begins to drag across the rocky bottom of resentment. To illustrate this, imagine a situation that many find familiar. Suppose you have a sibling whom you have helped many times over the years. You have lent them money, listened to their troubles, and stood by them during their darkest hours. Now, you find out that they have spoken unkindly about you behind your back. Or perhaps they have made a financial decision that ignores your well-being. You feel a deep, burning sense of disappointment. You think to yourself that after everything you have done, they should know better. You feel that their betrayal has the power to ruin your happiness. You find yourself unable to think of anything else, and your peace is completely gone. The Stoics looked at this with a very steady eye. Marcus Aurelius practiced a famous morning reflection to prepare himself for this exact feeling. He wrote in his private notes that when you wake up in the morning, you should tell yourself that the people you deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. He did not say this to be a pessimist. He said it so that he would not be surprised when it happened. He analyzed this by reminding himself that these people behave this way because they cannot tell good from evil. But he, Marcus, knew the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil. He taught that since no one can implicate a person in ugliness, no one can truly harm your character. He believed that even if your family member stays in the dark of their own bad choices, You must remain the light in the room. Your light is not dependent on their darkness. This principle is vital to apply when you are facing a conflict that feels like it might never be resolved. You may have a family member who has chosen a path you cannot follow. In these moments, you must realize that their character is their horizon. It is far away from your anchor. You can still love them from a distance, but you must stop demanding that they be who you want them to be. By letting go of the need to control them, you find your own freedom. For a practical exercise you can do right now, I suggest the Quiet Lighthouse meditation. It takes only 5 minutes. Step number 1. Sit quietly and visualize the person who has disappointed you. Step number 2. Imagine them as a ship lost in a very dark storm. They are making mistakes because they are lost, not necessarily because they want to hurt you. Step number 3. Visualize yourself as a lighthouse on a solid rock. A lighthouse does not run out into the water to try and save every ship. It does not yell at the ships for being lost. It simply stands still and shines its light. Step number 4. For 2 minutes, breathe slowly and say to yourself, I am the lighthouse. My job is to shine, not to control the storm. Step number 5. Spend the final minute releasing the expectation that they will change today. If you find this helpful, please join us in the comments by typing, I am the light in the room. Now, let us move to the second pain point, the weight of overthinking and regretting the past. The Stoic principle here is centered on the absolute boundary of time. The Stoics believed that the past is no longer ours. It is as if it has been handed over to a different kingdom where we have no citizenship. Only the present moment is where our life actually exists. Any moment spent in regret is a moment stolen from our only real possession, which is the now. This is particularly hard for us as we get older. Retirement or a slower pace of life often gives us more time to think. We look back at a career choice we made 40 years ago, a relationship that failed, or a word we wish we could take back. We might feel a deep sense of hoi-tic or regret, thinking that if we had only made one different choice, our lives would be perfect now. We become like a person trying to drive a car while only looking in the rearview mirror. It is a dangerous and painful way to live. Consider this illustrative situation. Imagine you are laying in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Your mind begins to replay a conversation you had 20 years ago with a parent who is now gone. You think of the things you should have said, or the way you wish you had acted. You feel a heavy knot in your stomach. You tell yourself that you were a bad child or that you missed your only chance to be happy. This regret feels as real as the pillow beneath your head. It feels as if the past is still happening and you are failing at it all over again. The philosopher Seneca had a very clear answer for this. He taught that we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. He analyzed the nature of time and showed that regret is a trick played by the mind. It is the imagination trying to change something that is physically impossible to change. The Stoics would say that the past is the horizon that has already sailed away. You can watch it fade, but you cannot pull it back. Your anchor can only be dropped in the waters where you are currently floating. Apply this whenever you find yourself trapped in a cycle of what-if questions. When your mind says, what if I had taken that other job? You must respond with the Stoic truth. That version of your life does not exist. The only life that exists is the one you are having right now. In this breath, by honoring your past mistakes as lessons but refusing to live in them as a prisoner, you reclaim your power. To practice this, I invite you to try the 5-minute anchor exercise. Step number 1. When you feel a regret rising, place your feet firmly on the floor. Step number 2. Name 5 things you can see in the room right now. A lamp, a chair, a photo, the window, your own hands. Step number 3. Name 4 things you can feel. The fabric of your clothes, the air on your face, the weight of your body, the coolness of the floor. Step number 4. For the next 2 minutes, focus only on your breath. Every time your mind tries to run back to 20 years ago, gently bring it back to the air entering your lungs. Step number 5. Say to yourself, the past belongs to the dead. The present belongs to me. Repeat this last step 3 times. The past belongs to the dead. The present belongs to me. The past belongs to the dead. The present belongs to me. By doing this, you are training your mind to stop wandering into the graveyards of the past. You are choosing to spend your limited energy on the only life you have. You are dropping your anchor exactly where it belongs. You are choosing to be whole. Right here. Right now. If you are ready to let go of what you cannot change, please join our community and type these words in the comments. Type, the present belongs to me. Let that be your promise to yourself for the rest of this day. The present belongs to me. You are not your past mistakes. You are the person who is listening to these words right now. You are an anchored soul. You are a person of peace. Thank you for staying with us. Walk steady. The final pillar of our journey together today is the creation of a Stoic daily routine. This is the practice of living intentionally from the moment you open your eyes until the moment you close them at night. The principle behind this routine is twofold. It is the practice of preparation in the morning and reflection in the evening. The Stoics believed that a life without a plan is a life lived in reaction to the noise of others. By setting a routine, you are not just managing your time, you are guarding your soul. You are ensuring that your anchor is set before the tide of the world begins to pull at you. In our modern life, however, it is very difficult to maintain this kind of stillness. We often wake up to the sound of a television or a phone notification. Before we have even taken our first breath of the day, we are bombarded by the horizon. We see news of conflicts, weather alerts, or emails that demand our immediate attention. By the time we are out of bed, our mind is already racing with worry. And at the end of the day, we often fall into bed, exhausted, perhaps scrolling through a screen or watching a program to numb the stress. We rarely take the time to look back at our day with clarity. We either ignore our mistakes entirely, or we drown in shame and hoi-tic, or regret. This lack of structure makes us feel like we are floating in a vast ocean without any direction. To see how this routine can change your experience, let us look at an illustrative situation. Imagine a typical Wednesday morning. You wake up and your joints feel a little stiff. Your first thought is a complaint about your health. You look at your phone and see a message from a family member that looks complicated. Your heart rate begins to rise. You spend your breakfast thinking about all the things that could go wrong today. You are already living in a future that has not happened yet. You are a ship already being tossed by a storm that has not even reached the shore. This is a life lived without a morning scan. Now, consider the evening. You have had a long day. Perhaps you were short-tempered with a clerk, or you spent too much time worrying about a bill. Instead of reflecting, you sit in front of the TV until you are tired enough to sleep. You carry the unresolved tension of the day into your dreams. You wake up the next morning with the same weight on your chest. This is a life lived without an evening review. The Stoic philosopher Seneca offered a beautiful alternative. He was a man who lived a very busy and often dangerous life as an advisor to an emperor. Yet, he made it a point to review his life every single day. He wrote that when the light has been removed and his wife has fallen silent, he would examine his entire day and go over what he had done, and said, he did not hide anything from himself. He did not pass over his mistakes. He analyzed his day like a kind but firm judge. He believed that this practice allowed him to sleep with a clear conscience. He taught that by facing our errors at night, we become less likely to repeat them in the morning. He did not look for perfection. He looked for progress. This routine is especially helpful to apply when you are feeling lonely or when you are caring for a loved one. In those long hours, it can feel like one day blends into the next without any meaning. By following this routine, you give your day a sacred structure. You remind yourself that even if no one else sees your efforts, you are seeing them. You are building a design, or a legacy, of character within your own heart. Let us now walk through the practical steps of this routine. It requires only 10 minutes a day. 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. Step number 1 is the morning horizon scan. This should be done during your morning tea or coffee. Sit by a window and look out at the world. Do not look at your phone or the news. Step number 2. Mentally list 3 things that might go wrong today. Perhaps it is a doctor's appointment that makes you nervous, or maybe a busy grocery store, or a physical pain. Step number 3. As you name each thing, say to yourself, this is the horizon. I cannot control it. Then, visualize your anchor. Say to yourself, I will remain the anchor. I will be patient. I will be kind. I will be steady. This is not worrying. This is preparing. You are rehearsing your virtue so that when the trouble arrives, you are not surprised. Step number 4 is the evening kind review. This is done right before you go to sleep. Sit on the edge of your bed and close your eyes. Step number 5. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. Question 1. What did I handle well today? Give yourself credit for that moment of patience or that quiet breath you took. Step number 6. Question 2. Where did I lose my pause? Where did I react with anger or fear? Do not judge yourself harshly. Simply observe it as a fact. Step number 7. Question 3. How can I be more anchored tomorrow? Set a small intention for the coming day. By practicing this evening review, you are clearing the slate. You are not carrying the day's failures into your sleep. You are acting as your own wise friend. This practice is very similar to the traditions of prayer that many of us grew up with. It is a way to align your soul with what is true and good. Whatever your personal faith may be, these 5 minutes of reflection will deepen your peace. I want you to repeat this core thought to yourself as you start and end your day. I am the master of my day. Say it slowly. I am the master of my day. This is not an arrogant claim of power over the world. It is a humble claim of power over your own heart. It means that while you cannot stop the wind from blowing, you can decide how to set your sails. It means that your dignity is not a result of luck. It is a result of your daily practice. You have the wisdom of many years within you. You have survived many storms that others have not. By using this routine, you are honoring that wisdom. You are choosing to live with your eyes open, You are choosing to be the person who governs their own mind. This is the path of the sovereign soul. This is the path of the anchored life. If you are ready to begin this simple practice today, I invite you to join our community and make a commitment to yourself in the comments below. Please share this affirmation. Type, "I am the master of my day." Let those words be the first thing you think of tomorrow morning. I am the master of my day. And let them be the last thing you think of tonight. I am the master of my day. You are not alone on this journey. We are all here, practicing these steps together. Thank you for your presence and for your willingness to grow. Walk steady. We will speak again soon. The sixth part of our journey together is the 7-day quiet sovereignty plan. This is a structured path designed to move these ideas from your mind and into your actual hands and feet. The principle behind this plan is that character is not built in a day. It is built in the small, quiet choices we make when no one is watching. The Stoics believed that philosophy is not a set of ideas to be discussed, but a way of living to be practiced. They compared the mind to an athlete's body. Just as an athlete must train every day to remain strong, we must train our minds to remain anchored. By following a specific set of challenges for 1 week, you are proving to yourself that you are the sovereign of your own reactions. You are taking the steering wheel back from the world. In our modern life, however, we are rarely encouraged to train our character. Everything around us is designed to make us react instantly. Our phones buzz with news that is meant to make us angry. Our televisions play programs that are meant to make us afraid. Even the way we shop or interact with our neighbors is often rushed and transactional. We have become used to the idea that if we feel a frustration, we should express it immediately. We have forgotten the ancient art of self-discipline. Many of us feel that at our stage of life, we should be allowed to be comfortable, but the Stoics taught that true comfort only comes from a mind that is not easily disturbed. This kind of peace requires a period of intentional training. It requires us to step away from our comfortable habits for a short time to see what we are truly made of, to see why this training is so necessary. Let us look at an illustrative situation that happens to almost everyone. Imagine you are standing in a long line at a pharmacy or a grocery store. You have things to do, and your legs might be feeling a bit tired. The person at the front of the line is taking a very long time, perhaps arguing over a coupon or a price. You feel the familiar surge of irritation. You might roll your eyes, check your watch, or make a quiet comment to the person behind you about how slow the service is. This feels natural. It feels like you are just being honest about your frustration, but in reality, you are letting the horizon dictate your mood. You are letting a stranger and a long line pull your anchor loose. This moment, as small as it is the perfect training ground for your sovereignty. The Stoic philosopher Seneca spoke often about the importance of this kind of training. He was a man of great wealth and power, but he understood that these things were fragile. He taught that no person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully make the most of what they do have. He analyzed the human habit of complaining and showed that it only serves to weaken our own spirit. He believed that by intentionally choosing to be patient or silent in small matters, we prepare ourselves for the much larger storms of life. He showed that if you cannot handle a slow line at a store, you will struggle to handle the larger challenges of aging or loss. The 7-day plan is your way of following this ancient advice. I will now walk you through each day of the plan. This is a progression that starts with your inner thoughts and moves toward your outward actions. Step number 1. Day 1. Practice the 4-second gate in every single conversation. Today, your goal is simple but profound. No matter who you are talking to, whether it is a spouse, a friend, or a stranger on the phone, you will wait 4 slow seconds before you respond to anything that feels like a challenge or a criticism. Use these 4 seconds to breathe and remind yourself that you are the editor of your own response. Notice how this small gap changes the energy of your day. You will find that many things do not actually need to be said. Step number 2. Day 2. Complain about absolutely nothing. Today, you are the master of your speech. You will not complain about the weather, the news, your health, or the behavior of others. If you catch yourself starting to complain, simply stop mid-sentence. Remind yourself that complaining is like a leak in your anchor. It lets your power flow out into the world where it is wasted. Notice how much more energy you have when you stop using it to describe things you cannot change. Step number 3. Day 3. Perform one small act of kindness that no one will ever find out about. This is a secret act of virtue. It might be leaving a kind note for a neighbor, picking up litter in a park, or making a small donation anonymously. The goal is to do something good without seeking any credit or any thank you. This proves to your soul that your worth is internal. You are being virtuous for the sake of virtue itself, not for the praise of the horizon. Step number 4. Day 4. When someone is rude, respond with total calm, politeness. This is perhaps the most challenging day. If someone speaks to you with an edge in their voice or ignores you in a store, you will respond with kindness. You will say thank you or have a nice day with genuine warmth. By doing this, you are proving that their rudeness has no power over your character. You are staying anchored while they are tossing in their own storm. You are the light in the room, regardless of their darkness. Step number 5. Day 5. Spend 15 minutes in total silence. This means no television, no radio, no phone, and no book. Sit in a comfortable chair and simply be with yourself. Watch your thoughts pass by like clouds. This is the practice of building your inner citadel. You are learning that you are a good person to be with. You are finding the peace that exists beneath the noise of the world. Notice if you feel an urge to reach for a distraction, and gently return to the silence. Step number 6. Day 6. Write down one thing you used to regret and release it to the horizon. Take a piece of paper and write about a past mistake or a missed opportunity that still bothers you. Read it over one last time. Then, visualize it as a ship that has already sailed away. You can no longer reach it, and it can no longer reach you. Tear up the paper or simply put it away. Say to yourself, the past belongs to the dead. The present belongs to me. This is the act of letting go so that you can drop your anchor in the now. Step number 7. Day 7. Reflect on your energy. Spend a few minutes today looking back over the week. Notice how much more calm you feel. Notice that you have survived every frustration without losing your dignity. You will likely find that you have more energy because you stopped fighting with things you cannot control. You have proven to yourself that you are a sovereign soul, This 7-day plan is not a magic cure, but it is a powerful start. It is especially helpful to apply when you are feeling the weight of loneliness or when you are navigating a difficult transition in your family life. It reminds you that your dignity is something you build brick by brick, day by day. Even if the world around you is chaotic, you can be the person who remains steady. You can be the anchor, whatever your personal faith or beliefs may be. This week of practice is a way to honor the life you have been given. It is a way to stop being a passenger and start being the captain of your own mind. You have the strength of many years within you. You have navigated many seasons of life. Now, use that wisdom to master your own responses. As we conclude this part of our reflection, I invite you to make a promise to yourself to try at least one of these steps today. Join our community in the comments and share your intention. Type the words, "I am training my character." Let those words be your focus for the next 7 days. I am training my character. Each time you face a challenge, repeat it to yourself. I am training my character. You are not alone. We are all here, practicing these steps together, one day at a time. Thank you for your commitment and for your quiet strength. Walk steady. We will finish our journey together in the final part. As we bring our time together to a close, let us return to where we began. We started with the feeling of being a passenger in a world that moves too fast. We looked at the horizon of life, filled with the moods of others, the changes in our health, and the noise of a busy world. But through the wisdom of the Stoics, we have discovered that we are not helpless passengers. We are the masters of our own anchor. We have explored how to use the 4-second gate to edit our reactions. We have learned that our dignity is a sovereign treasure that no one can take from us. And we have seen how a simple daily routine of preparation and reflection can turn a chaotic day into a life of purpose. If there is one thing I hope you carry with you into the coming week, it is this simple and hopeful truth. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you choose to meet it. No matter how loud the horizon becomes, your peace is always waiting for you in the quiet space of your own mind. To help you remember this journey, I will repeat our 3 core lessons one more time. Please listen closely and let them settle into your heart. Number 1. The world is the horizon, but you are the anchor. Number 2. The pause is where your freedom lives. Number 3. Your dignity is yours to keep. I will say them once more for you to remember as you go about your day. The world is the horizon, but you are the anchor. The pause is where your freedom lives. Your dignity is yours to keep. As you look toward tomorrow, I invite you to ask yourself one quiet question. Which part of your life has been the horizon lately? Perhaps it is a family conflict or a health worry that has been pulling at you. How can you drop your anchor there today? You do not need to change the whole world. You only need to change your own response. You have navigated many storms in your long life. You have a strength within you that has been tested by time and proven by experience. You are stronger than you feel, and you are far wiser than you know. Before we say goodbye for now, I invite you to make a small commitment to yourself. Choose one thing we discussed today that you will practice. It might be the 4-second gate, or perhaps the morning scan during your coffee. Whatever it is, please share it with us in the comments. By writing it down, you are making it real. You are telling yourself and this community that you are choosing the path of the anchor after you share your commitment. Please join our community by subscribing and sharing this reflection with someone who might need a moment of peace today. We grow stronger when we walk this path together. To end our session, please join us in one final affirmation. Type these words in the comments as a signature of your quiet strength. Type, "I am the steady anchor." Let those words be your shield. I am the steady anchor. Believe them. Live them. Walk steady. These ideas are shared for reflection and personal growth, and they are not a substitute for professional mental health support. If you are going through something heavy, please reach out to someone you trust or a qualified professional. We respect all individual faiths and offer these Stoic perspectives as a tool for your own contemplation. We are grateful for your time and your presence. Be well